You mentioned DePIN. DePIN, for people that don't know, it's quite the buzzword right now in blockchain, but I think for good reason. It means decentralized physical infrastructure network. What it really means is all the hardware that's around you, from your phone to your computer to your gaming GPU, the good stuff, right, is usually sitting dormant almost all the time. And in fact, it could be used to power all sorts of things in the future, including AI computations and other stuff. We're actually investing in a company right now that has kind of a way of accessing all the DePINs and kind of doing DePIN, yield mining, yield swapping, and you can get some of the best ones. But I don't think they have an AI agent that you can plug in that would basically intelligently look at all of your hardware and constantly monitor it and optimize the way that you could get returns on that. But that's something that you see you guys doing.
Yeah, we could be doing that as well. Yeah. So anything that, for example, if that company has a need for this and get in touch with us, they can either very likely through an SDK eventually, like a software development kit, they would be able to do eventually, or we're going to be assisting them. We could be assisting them doing that. We can't have an arm that's going to be focusing on that, kind of coming up with these custom solutions for certain partners, clients, whatever you want to call them, but we could be doing that as well. If anyone needs of any kind of agent, it's very likely that it can be done.
Nice. So they could come in and build it themselves on your platform, but if it got a little technical for them, you're going to have an area they can kind of customize and consult that for them.
Yes.
What are the other areas you see yourself going into in the future? I mean, you mentioned DePIN earlier. I know it's the unknown unknowns. The beautiful thing about your system is you can move anywhere at any time and customize anything. Yeah. But what do you think it's going to turn into?
Well, it should...
Biomedical?
Yeah, it could be even biomedical. There's actually, we have a conversation going in that direction as well with the company in Australia, very early stages, but that could be used. In that case, it's going to be analyzing data essentially, and there is also another company that's kind of doing like a mental well-being kind of platform as well that would be using and building assistants as well. And that's again kind of an area where if people have those conversations with these assistants, that's very sensitive data. That's something that they wouldn't want to share or wouldn't want to know, and that's also a good use case. So it's really hard to exactly tell where we're going. I really would like to, or we are actually looking at gaming as well. We could be doing assistants or agents that kind of help game designers to do some of the tasks that they don't want to spend time on, like creating the surroundings, for example, or non-player characters, NPCs that can be taken from one game to another, for example, that all could be done.
Do you think it could plug in and be a gaming assistant for me as I play games in the future?
That could be as well. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It's interesting you talk about mental health, and for me, there's the mafia test. I don't know if you know about this, but there was a famous show on TV called The Sopranos, and the mafia boss was going and talking to his therapist. And you asked some actual mafia guys, and they later said that if anyone ever found out they were doing that, they'd be whacked. And that's an interesting test because, like you said, that's sensitive information. Yeah. And most people would think twice before sharing that with a Google of the world or a Meta or an OpenAI. And so I'd say the mafia test is good. If you would be whacked for sharing information, it's probably something you better own yourself.
Yeah.
So with the mental health stuff, again, that's another perfect example. And I think it's really important because with mental health, the AI can pick up on lots of little indicators about you, not to mention have a conversation with you and also check maybe your vitals, maybe your Aura ring, maybe how much you're posting, how much activity you're having, how many emails you're sending, how many phone calls you're making, and then ask you questions, how you doing? And that could be really helpful for your mental health. But the last thing you want is Google owning that data.
Yeah.
Or worst case, there being a breach later, or Lord knows, the deep state owning that data.
Yeah. And who knows what can happen. And at that point, they can just push the right buttons and they can take it either direction, either sell you anything or just persuade you into anything they want. So that's an area that's really, well, we have to be careful about.
Hey, I know investing in crypto is scary. It takes a real leap of faith because there are so many scams, rug pulls, and bad actors out there. It's a dangerous business, which is why 95% of people lose all their money. Well, that's why I created the London Real Investment Club, so you can access the hottest deals on the planet and use the crypto bull market to create the generational wealth that you deserve. Join my team of over 100 people from around the world that are making millions of dollars behind the scenes investing in blockchain, AI, Web3 games, DeFi, Bitcoin, and more. Don't miss out. Click the link below to book a call with one of my team now. But hurry, this bull market will end soon.
I know investing in crypto can be scary. That's why you gotta join the investment club. Pull the trigger. Let's do this.